So we heard yesterday President Trump's diatribe about election interference, and I'm sure other people have made this point, but if our election system is so corrupt and so teeming with manipulation from foreign, the new scary enemy of China, how did he win last time? That's just my question. So, two, the last time I talked about a black swan, which is why is he pumping this? Why does everybody pump this thing about nuclear? Oh, you can't have a nuclear weapon. As though that's the ultimate, you can't discuss anything beyond nuclear weapons. I mean, one of the black swans is, well, if you use a nuclear weapon, it's the end of the world because everybody's going to fire. Russia and America are going to fire all 5,000 of their warheads, and we're going to nuclear winter, and the world dies. So, of course, there's tactical nukes, which are low-yield nukes, some of which could be carried on the backpack like Stinger missiles. And then you'd have these individual soldiers which would have a nuclear weapon who could certainly sell out for a fine price. So I guess they didn't like that idea. But in any case, the idea of a small nuclear weapon, and here's my scenario that I pointed out last time. You want to take out a $80 gazillion American aircraft carrier, of which we have 12 and China has 2. But okay, we want to take out 1/10 of our aircraft carriers, which are invading the sovereign nation of Iran. And, Trump has been, well, I'd really hate to destroy your entire civilization overnight, but I can do it. And so, okay, we got the picture. So, nuclear weapons are supposed to be so intimidating, and yet we have nuclear weapons, and it seems not to be intimidating everybody, including the Soviet Union. And it doesn't seem to be intimidating Ukraine either. So here's this unusable weapon that we're supposed to use, but we're never going to use it. And here's my scenario. You pretend that you're having an underwater. We've been 2 weeks away from Iran having a nuclear weapon since 1980. Netanyahu, for the past 40 years, has said we're 2 weeks away from Iran having nuclear. So let's bomb them. They would have bombed the Osirik thing, and that was in Iraq. We got to bomb these nuclear because they're just at the shade of. So let's assume that they already have the bomb because it's been 2 weeks since 1980. 2 weeks for what's it? 60 years, 40 years, 46 years. So if they, well, let's say we were just testing a low thing underwater, and it seems like there was an EMP, an electromagnetic pulse that wiped out all the electronics, the defensive electronics on the fancy multi-gazillion-dollar aircraft carrier, and we took out the aircraft carrier as well. So it was a military target. No civilians died like all the civilians that died American bombings and Russian bombings and Russia of Ukraine and United States of Japan and Germany during World War II. But, we never kill civilians unless there's a war emergency, which, by the way, here's Trump, his very first thing coming into office is to go immediately to the military, plant a paid Putin representative at the very height of the National Security Agency. He's going to be the NSA. He has to be removed because of his Russian connections, and a private hotline that outside of the CIA and the FBI that can't be monitored by Trump. And if you look at the Constitution, we have a republic unless there's a military emergency, and then the Constitution doesn't really apply. So, gee whiz, here comes this election. Oh, it's really scary. It's there's lots of foreign and Iraq. He'd love Iraq to use a nuclear weapon. Oh, we can't have them having nuclear weapons. He loved Iraq to have a nuclear weapon because, oh, we've got a world emergency. Nuclear weapon take out one aircraft carrier, but it means the end of the world. So suspend the elections. We're out of war. I got to be president forever. Okay, yeah, and there was no. And when Mueller says there was no collusion with this, he says, look, we don't have the charges to make specifically that there was a conspiracy for the Russians to interfere with the election. Okay, but it's an old mafia trick, which is I think Fredo the chef. I think he needs a delivery of mackerels. You get what I mean? You know what I mean, Carmine? He needs some mackerel. Ship him them mackerel, okay? Yeah, we got the picture.